So this is one thing. And I will say one more tool is pending, that is a document processor tool that quickly I will show you. Okay, before that, like that one document processor tool is there, so that I will show you. And apart from that, I have showed all the other nodes. And this vector DB reader and vector DB writer is, these two nodes are pending. So currently, I am exploring these two nodes as well. So once I will complete that, for that I will arrange one session to let you know about vector DB reader and vector DB writer. So apart from these two nodes, I have completed other nodes. So I will now show you this document processor nodes. So this document processor nodes, I will say this is kind of same thing, the one which we did for a document tool. Only the usage purpose is different. Like if we have to fetch from here also in document processor node, we will have some attachment. But from that attachment, if we have to find some of the codes, or if user has attached some resume of the any person, so from that resume, if we want to fetch some experience, for example, or their contact number or their address, for example, or anything like, or to in from the invoice, if we have to find out codes, what is that invoice number, or something like little small details if we want from that document, from that attachment. So basically this document processor will be coming from the attachments. Like here we have to not upload any of the data, but already if there is any attachment is attached for any item or for any other data, so or any other object, so from that attachment we will fetch the output, some small attachments, and from some attachment we will fetch some of the small outputs. So I will show you how we can use this document processor node. So again, we have to create, if we have to create this node, we will go in this data and document processor, and in that document processor, I will just so this we are fetching from the UCM. So that what whenever we will attach any of the attachment to the item, it gets stored to UCM, right? So to fetch that attachment, we have to fetch it from the UCM. So for that, we just have to provide the UCM ID. So for that UCM ID, we will require one business object. So which will have a UCM ID. So from that UCM ID, we will fetch that value. I will, for example, this one, get UCM document. So what is the parameter for this business object that came automatically here? So that we will write it later, and I will just create this document. So to use this document processor node, we just have to give the business object that will have the UCM ID, UCM doc ID. So what we have to ask from the user, like which document they want, the details. If user will ask any question, so for which document it should refer, like which attachment. So we will go to trigger and we will only ask the, I mean, document UCM ID from the user. So I will create one trigger UCM ID, and we will create one more uh, user query. So two triggers I have created here, and we will create. So when user will enter the UCM ID, when they will try to invoke this agent, so that we will assign that UCM ID to this parameter, to this business object parameter. So from this UCM ID we have provided. So when they will invoke this, that UCM ID will come it here, and from that it will trigger this business object function, and then uh, we will update this. So uh, this is how we can use document processor node. And instead of document tool, we have to use the one business object tool. In that, we have to just provide the UCM ID because it will fetch from the attachments, right? And again, if we want to pass that data, so we will use the LLM nodes. And here we have to write output. So from the document processor nodes, that output for the user query. Something like this we can write in the prompt, like actually what it has to perform, and if we have how to perform, then that also we can write it here. And I will just add user query. So we created this document processor node and LLM nodes. We will see in the UCM server, and we will try to give the UCM ID over this. So this is what UCM Web Center is. When we attach any attachment to this item or any of the object, it will get stored in this Web Center, and it for every attachment or every PDF or whatever it is, for that every time it will generate one this UCM ID. So from this UCM ID, we can fetch the data. So for example, this is one UCM ID for this attachment, any of this attachment. So I will use, for example, this UCM ID. So when we try to run this agent, so we just have to provide two queries, like one is a UCM ID and so this is the for this UCM ID what we have provided, right? So it will we got that data here, and out of that I just set the fetch the data, so it is getting me all the data. And so whatever data will be there in that attachment, in this UCM ID attachment, and this is I guess some log file. So this all the data from that log file it is coming to us. So we can if there is some resume or some invoice. So based on that invoices, like we want invoice value, we invoice date, invoice ID, or is from resume we want to ask specific questions from the attachment. So for that we will use the document processor node. So this is how we will get the reply here. And again I will try to give you a error handling. So how this will work, I will show you. So this is how when the basically this error handling, like when something goes wrong here in this whole workflow, then to whom it should inform. Like if there is some error or something goes wrong in this whole workflow agent. So for now, I just given the this my name, and I will something writing here in template. If you want, we can add some error node or error message, and I will update. So while running this agent, if there is anything wrong happens, so what I will do while providing the UCM ID, I will provide wrong UCM ID. Okay, and then we will see what happens. So I have provided the wrong UCM ID, and I will try to invoke this workflow agent. So here already you can see request failed with status 500. And now we are getting that like this assistant is unavailable right now because there is an error. So this error, it went to this email. Here we have not added any email nodes, like any communication we have not added. But still I am getting this email because like some error message, like why we are getting this error. This is because this workflow agent got failed. So from this error handling, my email ID was there. We can add it, like it will come in a list. We can add any other person email ID as well. And so whenever it will encounter a error, so that time this person will get email. So this is how this error handling works. You can see this is how that error message came, unable to retrieve information for this UCM ID because this is wrong. Okay, and then one more thing, like if anything goes wrong in this particular node, here also we can give error handler. So here in this error handler, we have to give the step back thing. Like if this particular nodes gets anything wrong with this, if this node encounter any error, so what in which step it should go back. So we have, if we have other nodes, then all the nodes will be listed here. We have only one nodes apart from this LLM. So in this error handler, this test dog one is coming. So I will show you again how this error handler will work. So again, I will remove this too, and I will provide a wrong UCM ID. I will remove this so that it will be get cleared. Sorry. Here it is getting error at this node, like document one, this node is getting failed because that UCM ID is wrong. So in this, we have to give this error handler. So I will give this another error handler here. In this one. That is why. So from which, in which node it will give error, that in that node we have to add the error handler, like where it should fall back for that particular node. So that time I given a wrong one. Now if you can see here in this document one node, it is showing error message, unable to download file, unable to retrieve information from this UCM ID because we have given the wrong UCM. That is correct. But sorry, after that I have given in this document node, like even though if it is getting failed out in error handler, it is coming, then also go to this next node. That is I have given go to this LLM node. So that is why after getting the error in this node, it is going in the next node, that is LLM1. So based on that error handler, it is coming to this LLM1. Otherwise, if you see before this, it was coming as a sorry unavailable because it was giving us the error and we have this error message in the email. But now I asked to go in the next node. So from that it is coming and it is giving a generalized some random answer like I don't have any output text to parse the data or something like that it will provide because it is a LLM. So generalized AI answer it will provide. So in that error handler, whatever the node we will give to fall back, it will go in that error handler. Okay, so this is about document processor node and the error handler part. Anyone has any doubt here?
No, Neeraj.
So yeah, I have completed almost all the nodes for the workflow agent. Only the vector DB reader and vector DB writer is pending. So once I will complete that exploring all that, I will arrange one more small sessions for that. Then you can practice if you have any doubts after that as well. You can let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Neeraj. In between, I dropped off and joined again for other call. Okay. Anyone has any questions?
No, Ramesh.
No, Ramesh.
Thank you.